Functions of database management systems. Database management systems have database definition, database operations, database protection functions, etc. They also have user interfaces called database languages, etc. 1. Three-layer structure of schema. The aim of a database is to integrate files that existed in units of users or programs, and to unify management of them in a computer system. Because many users share a single database, many things must be considered when deciding the content of its specifications. A schema is used to describe the specifications of a database. However, it is difficult to describe all of the specifications of a database in a single schema. When it is too complicated to describe it in a single schema, it is usually divided into several parts or layers. Based on this, database specifications definition, schema, is partitioned. Basically, three schemas are used to describe the specifications of the database. The first is a schema to define all of the business tasks that the database will be concerned with. The second is a subschema that defines the necessary parts, items, as seen from the standpoint of the individual user in the program. The last is a stored schema that defines the physical specifications in order for the database to be actually used on the computer. These three combined are referred to as a three-layer structure. There are many kinds of DBMS that have been made into commercial products. The definition of specifications varies widely depending on the type of DBMS, so it cannot be said that this is good for the user. Because of this, there has been much work on standardization. The three-layer ANSI X3 Spark schema was standardized by the ANSI, American National Standards Institute. This three-layer schema is made up of the conceptual schema, external schema and internal schema. Each of these corresponds to the schema, subschema and stored schemas respectively. Two, database languages. Database languages are divided into two types of languages. One is used to describe the definition of the schema and the other is used to manipulate data. A. Schema definition language. The definition language of the conceptual schema and the external schema are generally referred to as DDL, data description language. B. Database manipulation language. The language used for the modification, addition, deletion, search of data in the database is called DML, data manipulation language. Data manipulation languages are roughly divided into two types: host language DML and self-contained DML. Host language DML. Database manipulation instructions are embedded and executed in programming languages such as COBOL, C, etc. There are two types of DMLs. One manipulates commands that are added to the existing languages as extended commands, and the other is used by calling subroutines. . self-contained DML. It is also known as query language. It is a form that is independent of the existing language. Many of these have the characteristic of making it easy for end users with little computer knowledge to use the database. Three, database protection functions. These functions, including security, shared control, failure recovery, and database monitoring, are used to protect databases against unauthorized access and destruction. Let us look at the most typical phenomenon that causes database destruction without realizing it. It is called lost update problem. Security and failure recovery will be covered later. Operations of databases. A. Lost update. When a database is used simultaneously by many users, shared usage of a database, there is the possibility of the lost update problem. Lost update occurs when successfully completed update is overridden by another user. When lost update occurs, conflicts in the data after updating occur and the values are not correct. B. Exclusive control. The basic preventive measure against lost update is to make the simultaneous access to data impossible. In other words, when a program is updating data, the data is locked so that the other programs cannot access it. Because the program is given single privileged access to the data, this is called exclusive control. C. Deadlock. Exclusive control prevents the lost data problem. However, there is another problem known as a deadlock. A deadlock occurs when two different processing programs have locks on and each tries to unlock the other's locks. In a deadlock condition, neither program can continue processing. This means that the users will not receive a response no matter how long they wait. A method to prevent this is to have each of the programs lock at the beginning of processing and not to lock during the processing.